Hey, what's going on, guys? Visual might be a little bit off, but this should work just as good. I'm using an iPad instead of my camera because I don't have my SD card with me, but it should work out just fine. Okay, so today I'm talking about something called confabulation. Now, what is that? Well, whenever we're walking around doing our daily stuff in our lives, we are constantly taking in the information around us and processing it in such a way where we can make sense of this world we live in. Well, sometimes we create things that we never experience. Like literally, we make false memories. Have you ever had an argument with a family member or somebody who you know, and you swear to God that, in the coffee shop 2 years back when you were talking to this girl about this, that, and the other, this happened, and then your story is completely different from theirs. Well, obviously, unless we're talking about different dimensions and parallel universes, both stories can't be true. So one of them has got to be baloney, or two of them are probably most likely baloney. Just like with a car accident, if somebody is talking about something that happened, then there's going to be a lot of details just made up. And it's completely normal because we all confabulate to some extent. We all create information to try to make sense of something that we might not have the answers to. But it doesn't just outright happen. It usually happens when we have to have a need, it usually happens when we're probed for an answer. And it could be from somebody else or by our internal programming. Now, what do I mean by probing an answer? Well, if somebody asks you what your favorite band is, you might say whatever it is, U2 or Metallica, whatever have you, And if they ask you, okay, well, why do you like them so much? Well, you're put on the spot to give an answer, and you may never have put any thought into it. You may have just liked the sound of it, but you have to come up with an answer right then and there. Well, if you didn't have any reason, you might just confabulate something and rationalize and try to come up with these different ideas about why you enjoy the band. Now, this happens all the time because if you have a stance on something and somebody asks you about it, it's super easy to start confabulating and you don't know what you're doing because it's a very natural thing. You look around, and schizophrenia especially, like people with schizophrenia tend to actually do this flawlessly because they don't have the answers to the world that they're living in. I remember seeing one video of a person with schizophrenia who was confabulating. They were a patient in a mental institution for a little while, and the person interviewing them asked them why they were there. They just kind of glanced around the room and saw an air duct, and then they said, "Oh, I'm here to clean the ducts." And he said, "Oh, it's very peculiar. You're wearing your pajamas today. Well, this is usually not the kind of clothing you do to clean up ducts." And they said, "Yeah, I'm just trying to dress comfortably today." Now the patient wasn't outright lying. They didn't know what they were doing. They were confabulating. They were coming up with answers just by their surroundings, and they were immediately influenced just because they had to come up with an answer because they were probed to give some kind of response. So why am I making this video? Well, it's not just people with schizophrenia who do this. Literally, we all have distorted memories, and the more we believe our own baloney, the more we're just going to get stuck in our own crap. You know what I mean? So usually, if we have an inaccurate way of recalling information, chances are that either we weren't paying attention, we weren't really focused on the senses around us and what was going on, we were just loafing about, or we were disrupted while we were trying to recall the information. But either way, we want to just be more aware of what's going on. We just want to be more conscious of what we're doing at all times, because it's very easy to let our autopilot go on, and like you get in your car and the next thing you know you're 50 miles down the road and you can't remember anything except for maybe that favorite song that played somewhere in the middle. In yoga they really teach you to be just more aware, more conscious of surroundings, and literally just being aware of absolutely everything that's going on around you. And that's exactly how it should be, because you can literally let just life pass you by if you're floating around and if you're just doing mindless activities. But if you focus on your surroundings, really feel the air around you, really smell your environment. You know, like, is there anything in the air right now? If you were to take a deep breath in, can you smell something? Somebody's baking cookies? Are you outside? A wonderful dew on the grass? What about sounds? Are the birds chirping in the background? Somebody nagging in the background? Can you feel something? Can you feel the clothes on your skin right now? Seriously, just become aware, because it's so easy to just go renegade and go autopilot all day long. But yeah, so that's all I've got today. Quit confabulating and subscribe to this video. Take care.